May 2nd, 1904. Uncle Schmully is a fast learner. In just 3 days, he knows the names of the days of the week. I write down 10 vocabulary words every day for him. He learns them fast. He wants to learn words for his work, like needle, scissors, thread, and words for food and buying things in stores. But of course Tova has her list of words that she wants to teach Uncle Schmully. Here is part of Tova's list that she gave me to teach him. Union, organized, oppressed, exploited. I told Tova, if you want him to learn these words, you teach him. May 4th, 1904. Mamie brought me some more pictures of Jacob Adler and one of his wife, Sarah, in a play called God, Man, and Devil. I want to have a whole wall covered with stars of the Yiddish theater. Boris says he will get me a poster advertising a show. May 15th, 1904. Uncle Schmully knows how much I love theater, and through his work he gets special price for tickets to a play, but not a Yiddish play. Uncle Schmully says he does not want to hear Yiddish. He wants to hear English. So we go to see the new musical on Broadway, Piff, Paff, Poof, with Eddie Foy. It is very gay and lively. Good music, but I like Yiddish theater better. May 18th, 1904. No comparison of Broadway theater and Yiddish theater. Last night I saw Jacob Adler in The Beggar from Odessa. Papa bought tickets for just him and me. This was good, because ever since Passover, when Papa spoke so sharply to me, I felt very bad. I think Papa noticed this. I think maybe Papa is a little bit jealous of the attention I get from Uncle Schmully. Maybe that is why he did it. Jacob Adler is the most extraordinary actor. He has very large eyes, and there is more white to his eyes than the colored part. So when he opens them wide in terror or shock, they are hypnotic. Now that is acting. How could I have ever thought of becoming a physicist like Marie Curie, or flying an airplane? I must act. May 19th, 1904. I think Mama is up to something. When I came home from school, Pessy, the matchmaker, was here. I think Mama is getting set to marry off either Tova or Miriam. Why else would a matchmaker come to our house? Mama has another client now besides Mrs. Meyer. Tomorrow we are taking Mrs. Meyer her order. I am not looking forward to it, as I hate those girls. They treat me so terrible. We had to go up for a fitting about 3 weeks ago, and Flora, the oldest one, said something so nasty about Mama. I overheard her. She called my mother an oriental piece of antiquity. German Jews are really full of themselves. They don't speak Yiddish, and anything east of Germany they consider the Orient. And a traditional Jewish woman like Mama, well, an antique. Can you imagine? If Mama wants to wear a shadel, it's her business. But my goodness, if she really does want to use a matchmaker and arrange weddings for us, that is our business. Still, she is not an oriental piece of antiquity. May 20th, 1904. You will never believe what happened. We went uptown to deliver the summer dresses to Mrs. Meyer, and when we got there, the butler told us we would have to wait a few minutes, as Mrs. Meyer and her daughters were being photographed in the music room. So we waited. I was getting bored and decided to just go have a peek. Well, I nearly screamed, but thank God I did not. Guess who the photographer was? Mr. Wolfe, Blue's father. I ran to tell Mama. She said we must hide. He must not see us. I said, What? Are you crazy? He should hide. Then Mama says if she sees him, she might just kill him. For the next 10 minutes, until the photography session is over, we are in agony. We do not know what to do. We sit there like frozen statues. We see him pass into the hallway, and finally I jump up and run out after him right through the front door. He is still on the steps. The butler is helping him, and there is a cab waiting. Mr. Wolfe, I cry. I see his shoulders jerk, but he does not turn around. So I go up to him as he is climbing into the cab. Mr. Wolfe, I shout, and this time tug on his sleeve. He turns around and says as cool as anything, I am not Mr. Wolfe, young lady. You must be mistaken. Then he climbs into the cab and drives off, and I have left shouting right there on 45th Street, You are Mr. Wolfe, and you have a family. Mama says we must keep this to ourselves. It will only cause pain to Blue and her mother. I don't know whether I can keep this to myself. May 29th, 1904. I cannot help but think about what I saw. Mr. Wolf uptown. It is all I think about. I have not told Blue. June 5th, 1904. For almost a week now, I have thought of nothing except Mr. Wolf. June 6th, 1904. Today I decided I must do something about Mr. Wolf. So I wrote a letter to the Bintel Brief and the Jewish Daily Forward, asking them what I should do. I hope they write back, but I don't know. Marie Curie and Orville and Wilbur have not acknowledged my existence. Pretty fancy English writing, eh? Everyone says my English is phenomenal. Another fancy English word. I think teaching Uncle Schmully has actually helped my English more than anything. June 10th, 1904. I was right. Mama was making business with the matchmaker. The matchmaker came tonight to meet Tova. Tova had a fit, but she was very clever about it. She talked about all of her union activities. She talked about emancipation, women's rights, and she talked about money. I watched along with Uncle Schmully. Papa was at rehearsal, while Mama got redder and redder and the matchmaker's face slowly turned to stone. Finally, the matchmaker gets up and says very stiffly, I have no further business here. Mama crumpled into a heap and cried. None of us knew what to do. Then Uncle Schmully said, first in Yiddish, and then in very near perfect English, Sarah, this is America. Mama just stared at him and then adjusted her wig. June 15th, 1904. Today was our last day of school before summer vacation, and guess what? I have been promoted to 7th grade. Teacher said I could skip 6th grade because 6th is not that different from 5th. But in a little more than a week, I turn 13, so in the fall I will still be a little old for 7th grade. Teacher says if I work hard in the fall, I should be able to go on to 8th grade before long. I say, how long? She says, oh, you know, a few months. I say, what is a few? 3 or 4? Maybe, she says, maybe just a couple. I say, what is a couple? 2? She nods. She says, Zipporah, you are always so rushed. What's the big hurry? What's the big hurry? I want to say. You try being 12 years old and sitting in a little chair with kids half your size. You would be in a hurry too. She doesn't know how big a hurry I am in. I will be in 7th grade 1 month, not 2, then on to 8th grade. Over the summer I shall help Blue. I am going to push, pull, drag her along as fast as I can. She will be in 8th grade with me by Purim at the latest. Just watch. June 16th, 1904. We slept on the roof last night as it was so hot. Sean came by and told us fantastic stories about the World's Fair that just opened in St. Louis. He says there is this new invention called an ice cream cone. I tried to imagine what he describes. He says it is like a biscuit or a thin cookie rolled into a horn shape and people put ice cream in it. You lick the ice cream and you bite the cone. It sounds difficult. June 18th, 1904. Papa played in another concert last night. This is the 3rd since January. One piece was Dvorak Serenade for Strings in E major. I heard someone say Papa's little solo in the 2nd movement was dazzling. I love that word, dazzling. People have been asking Papa to give lessons, but he hardly has any time. Sometimes before or after a rehearsal he will. We took the 6th Avenue elevated uptown to where the concert was held. I love riding on the elevated. It is much more fun than the streetcar. You can look right inside people's windows. There is one point at 37th Street where the tracks come so close I could see the food on the family's table. Potatoes on a platter. June 22nd, 1904. Mama has not been feeling well. I think it is the heat. I hope she is better by tomorrow, for it is my birthday. June 23rd, 1903. Today I am 13, but Mama is feeling still bad, so no latke. She makes the best latke for birthdays. Always swirls of chocolate and cinnamon and sprinklings of sugar powder. I feel a little bit sorry for myself. Papa has rehearsal, and Tova has union meeting tonight. Old Mrs. Sheehan spent forever in the lavatory, and I had to knock to ask her to hurry a bit because Mama was feeling ill. She came out scowling and said, "She too good to puke in a bucket?" Such a nice old lady, Mrs. Sheehan. Blue says she'll come over if she can get away from the little kids tonight. Yitzy is now running a machine in his dad's new business. He works day and night since school is out. He wants me to come over and pull threads from the basted hems. Forget it, I say. Not on my birthday. June 24th, 1904. I must write about my birthday in Yiddish. How could I have ever imagined how things would turn out? I was sitting there, feeling very sorry for myself, when suddenly Mamie and Boris show up. They burst into the apartment, and they have tickets for Alexander, the Crown Prince of Jerusalem, with none other than Boris Tomanishevsky, who some think is as good as Jacob Adler, though not me. But the play was wonderful. He wore tights and played many romantic love scenes with Sophia Karp, who was beautiful. I've never seen such scenery. And there is the heat of the lights, and the sweet oily smell of the grease paint. I love it. I want to be part of this world. Then we all went over to 2nd Avenue to the Café Royale. Tova and Mandy and Miriam came along. Sean showed up later, and he and Miriam gave me a set of ribbons for my hair. Tova gave me a pin-on lace collar that you can attach to the neckline of any dress. I put it on right there and tied the ribbons in my hair, and I sipped my coffee and ate a pastry. And I spoke English and understood all the English that was spoken. Then, guess what? Suddenly it seemed as if a forest of flowers was moving toward our table. The forest came right up to me. And then, out from behind the bunches of lilies and roses popped a face. Papa's! What a birthday I had. Hair ribbons, grease paint, flowers, and speaking English like a Yankee. I am not a greenhorn anymore. P.S. I had a funny thought. I wonder if Papa noticed that Sean and Miriam were sitting side by side at the Café Royale. Their shoulders had been touching when Papa arrived, and I know for a fact that they were holding hands under the table. I peeked. June 30th, 1904. Papa is so busy with rehearsals for the 4th of July concert. They are playing the Dvorak New World Symphony. I go with them to rehearsals whenever I can. It is the most exciting music ever. Dvorak wrote this as a kind of musical letter to his friends back in Europe to tell them about America when he came here 10 years or so ago. It has bits of Negro spirituals and American folk music. There are parts that rumble and pound like mighty rivers, and other parts so delicate and fine.